you opened the store in 2008. Can you just tell us a little bit about the sales of air purifier masks, just the mask part from 2008 to now?
Sure. Well, we opened this location, the CBD location. We've got 4 since. In store location, we also sell online. But since 2008, we've been selling the Respro Air Mask, which is actually imported from England. A majority of the products we sell are imported and imported through the direct channel at times to trust the quality. It's one thing getting a lot of products. It's really trusting that product is the legitimate product. I mean, that's everywhere in the world, but especially in China where the economy is still growing. So we've seen a dramatic rise on the masks. Today is actually a good day, so it's not a good example. When I just got back from Shanghai business trip, and it's beautiful blue skies in Beijing, which is a rarity, it's nice. But on really heavy days of pollution, I mean, we can see a lot of, especially foreign market, that are not so used to pollution levels just swarming in and buying out our stock of masks, which is just over there. We've had some cases where people are coming in and literally buying 12 masks. They buy it for their family, their friends, and etc. etc.
And how many do you stock daily? And like on those bad days, how many actually go?
You see, it's just one thing. I mean, if you had a prediction tool that you'd know that, then it would be easy. But the problem is you wake up in the morning and you can see that it's bad weather outside and pollution. So it's not something that we have a gauge on, but we do have good stock, and we have very quick turnaround on stock. Especially during the winter months. The winter months seem to have a bigger trend for a couple of reasons. One, there's a lot more coal being burnt for heating, especially in Beijing where it's a lot colder than places like Shanghai. So because of the coal being burnt, there is more fossil fuels and therefore more pollution in the area. But it's also a fashion factor. You know, in the middle of summer, sometimes people don't want to wear these masks. Would you like me to get you a mask and show what it looks like?
Yeah, sure.
You can do a cut later, and then I can pretend I've had it here the whole time.
Sure. Let's sit down.
Yeah, because then I can show you what I mean, and it'll probably make it about here, continuity. A little bit more. Okay.
Okay.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just start from
I'll show you.
fashion statement.
Yeah. So with summer months, you don't want to be wearing so much things around your face. It can be sweaty and stuff, but we still sell a lot in summer. Winter months, one other added benefit is actually when it's really cold, like today, you've got pollution protection, but it's also concealing, I've got it the right way with the nose here. So it's also, protecting that freezing cold weather.
Right.
If you heard me through my Darth Vader mask. Okay, so winter time especially, 2011 and now we're in 2012 on those heavy months, we've seen a dramatic increase on mask filters and air filters, from the foreign market, but also the local Chinese market is becoming a concern and an obvious reality that the pollution may be getting a little bit worse.
Can you give us some numbers and just statistics of sales from 2011?
I'd love to, and if I had preparation to do that, I might be able to give you a more accurate. All I can say is anecdotally that there has been an increase year in, year out of mask, air filters, and even water filters actually, which is, I know, a little bit off topic, but the other issue is getting high quality water as well, and water filters is something we also sell. There has been a gradual increase. The increase is because it's becoming worse, but also education is becoming more and more apparent thanks to resources like the internet, and also peer-to-peer, people telling each other about the importance of breathing high quality air. I mean, there are statistics out there of which I've heard, and whether or not how accurate it is, of living in some polluted cities is like smoking 2 packets of cigarettes a day, even if you don't smoke. So it is an obvious reality, and especially when you first get off the boat or off the plane and you come here, it does hit you in the face. And again, the large growing expatriate market in China definitely are in need of having an air filter. And people watching in America, if you've lived in China, you've probably already had an air filter or we're at least going to be buying one soon.
Now let's say you have like one of your biggest selling days, a really polluted day. About how many masks do you sell that day, and about how many filters might you sell that day?
Well, I'm not in the stores as much as I used to be, so if you don't mind, I'll just yell out to one of my colleagues. Wallace, how many masks would we sell approximately in a polluted day?
Let's take yesterday as an example.
Yesterday
we sold 6 masks.
Okay, yesterday, this one store we sold 6 masks. Thank you, Wallace. I was in Shanghai, so I didn't even know. So that's an example. And on air filter days, Wallace?
Air filter days sold 5
5 for one day on a very polluted day. And that's just one store. Our other store up in Beijing, air filter mask and electronic air filters, the sales volume is dramatically different to Beijing than Shanghai. We've got locations in both cities, and it's 2 different worlds. So our other store in Shunyi, it's in Shunyi, which is in the north part of Beijing. There's a lot more villas, family lifestyles. So air filter sales there at times are even higher again, because it's the family clientele.
Would you say 2 times higher, 3 times higher?
It's one of these. It can be up and down. But last month was an incredible. Was it last month? Last month, Shuni did a lot in air filters. Again, I'm just double checking. I'm not in the stores as much. But last month, I think around 30% of our sales for that location came from air filters, which is pretty high when we have about 800 products.
Right.
We sell about 800 products, mainly imported from the States, vitamins, minerals, sports nutrition, etc., packaged organics, and very famous brands like BSN, MHP, Gyro Formulas, as an example. But on that store, because it's in the family area, we did sell over 30% was from air filters.
And normally what percent of sales does air filters make?
Normally in that area it could be as low as 5% or 8%. So if that statistics helps illustrate the volume increase of air filtration, I hope that helps.
Now it seems like in November that was when pollution really was at its height of debates, because I think the Weibo kind of went nuts about it.
Yeah.
The Beijing and US Embassy meetings. In terms of consumer profile, you started touching upon it. What was the consumer profile since you started the store? You're saying maybe more expats, and what is it now? And why? What has accounted for the change?
Yeah. Well, everyone asks, because we are a foreign business, we're foreign, 100% foreign owned, we're 100% foreign managed, with a great management team from actually all over the world. But so because of that factor, and because I obviously look like a foreigner and I speak English, my Chinese is terrible, because of that factor, people make that assumption that we only sell to expatriates, which is completely untrue. Our model hasn't changed, our marketing really hasn't changed, but because we just build a company on trust, selling legitimate products, again, we import 80% of what we sell. Gradually, just through building that trust base, we get more and more Chinese clientele. So starting in the early days, it was probably at 99% expatriate. I'm talking 2007 days when we started as an online platform, and now with the stores and bricks and mortar, there's been a shift, and it's been a gradual shift. But I could probably say now that on the whole operations, we're around 50-50 foreign expatriate or returnee, which is still part of the foreign clientele base, and then local. And again, there's been no magic scenario. It's just gradually happened by providing great quality products, imported air filters, etc., at fair prices.
And we talked about on the phone, a lot of people go to Taobao to buy someone's mask, and they can get one of those masks.
Yeah.
I guess, why would people want to come to a store like this rather than Taobao?
Yeah. Well, we do have a Taobao outlet. So one thing I want to illustrate with Taobao, or which Tmall, or for Americans that don't know what Taobao is, it's the eBay of China. It does actually. I heard an interesting statistic recently that 80% of online sales in the whole of China is from Taobao. 80%. So, saying that, we have a Taobao store as well. So, the Taobao is just an online platform that people can buy and sell things. But because of the policing of Taobao, it is sometimes a gamble of buying any, not just masks, even vitamins, even sports nutrition, whether it is the legitimate product. And that's just an unfortunate reality where people are after money and they're after quick money. So sometimes if you see something very cheap, there's a reason for it's very cheap. It's not the Respiro mask imported from England, it's probably imported from Guangzhou, meaning it's not even the Respiro mask. It may look the same kind of, maybe have the same brand logo, but you know, the filtration, I mean this filtration here is a triple filtration. It's got a carbon filtration in there as well that allows not only to filter out dust and things, but also chemical and other things. Not everything. I mean, we're talking about a retail mask. It's not a fire mask or anything like that. But the point being is this brand is a high quality brand that does a lot of certification, a lot of tests, and you can trust it's real. Now, there are probably some on Taobao that have the legitimate thing too, but you don't know. You know, we import this. I mean, we work with a direct distributor who imports this directly from England. So, you know, our staff use these masks. You know, it's the same as our staff. I use all of these products. I'm always getting in trouble from the wife for spending too much money on these products. We use these products. It's the same as we use these masks. So, you know, because we have the official product in there, the full quality. So, I mean, people can buy on Taobao, and you know they may have a good sales channel there, but unfortunately, is a reality. You may be gambling with buying counterfeit product. Buying counterfeit product of you know, a mask is not that big a deal unless it's really polluted and thing. But you know, if you're buying a counterfeit product of a consumable item, you know, that's a scary reality. You don't know what it is. It could be milk. I mean, or glue or something. But anyway, I mean, that's a reality in all emerging markets. India's got a lot of problems with these type of things too. And it really comes down to trusting the sales channel. No, not just WHS, World Health Store, but trusting any sales channel anywhere in the world, making sure you are getting what you paid for.
And when you started the World Health Store, did you guys stock air filters and air masks?
The air filters came, I think around 2009, beginning of 2009. We had masks actually a little bit before that. We'd been stocking masks about halfway through 2008. And air filters, we started originally with Blue Air. Alan Air didn't have a good distributor in the early days, and now Alan Air have got a really good distributor with Renard Distributing, Unique Renard, a very good friend of mine. With the Alan Air American brand as well. The Alan Air came in about, now I'm guessing here, probably around 2010 or so, and you know, they're both very good brands.
Okay. Do you mind if we go to the mask really fast,
Yeah,
ask
sure.
you questions, and then over to the thing? 1 minute.
You can probably stop that and start again. Then I can put it on Facebook.